the spend that you need. It's pretty hefty.
Yeah.
I do have several cards. I think I had a back in November. I had a late payment to one of my lease. I just went away, and thank God I already took it out of my Equifax. So I'm waiting for TransUnion and Experience to respond. So there's several cards. This is one of the cards that I've been looking at just for the points, so I can use it for travel. Maybe I'll go to Japan like Mr. Slay here. Um, but yeah, you got to put a lot of spend on it, obviously. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
and you can
But
always get creative here and there, but it's difficult. And one of the things I want to do this year is like I want to focus on several cards and not have that many, because what happens is when you have that many and you have just like a subscription or the little payments here and there, you have to track them, and even if they're in auto pay, sometimes it gets kind of crazy.
yeah, I definitely agree. I think that's one strategy I'm going for this year. Less cars with better benefits.
Yep.
Um, and honestly, like having all these signer bonuses is getting out of hand. I'm not gonna lie. I have both. What is it? The business platinum and the regular platinum, and to me, paying 695 for both of them is not worth it. So one gotta go. But imagine having Amex with 350K points. We could all be like Joe, be a millionaire in points. So
Yeah.
But Amex already gives you 250K, right?
I didn't get
On the
that, Joe.
business platinum, and I got it with 15,000 spent. Come on, you can't really put it into perspective. 200,000 is somebody's mortgage. Like you for 350,000 points. Really, who are we kidding here? That's
Yeah.
seven on the low end at 1 cent per point is $3,500. So you spend 200,000 to get $3,500 in cash. Are you kidding me? How does that make sense? Any freaking kind of sense?
Listen,
I'm
I'm
going
not.
for it.
I told you guys like already. Like, I personally don't like Capital One at this point. I think they have a very, how do I say it, like unhealthy relationship with us as credit card YouTubers. But also I think they're really trying to be predatory against people who don't know how to use credit, because people are going to sign up for that card. And what business do you know? A small business do you know that can spend 200K in like 6 months?
A real business can, obviously, like a
Yeah.
real business. Like
Yeah.
seriously, like if you're into shipping, whatever, you own an electric company, do electrical
Yeah.
work, plumbing, whatever.
Yeah.
But I know it's unhealthy. But you know who's not unhealthy? Look at Chad and his muscles right there.
I was about to
Whoa.
say,
Buff and ripped. Yo, Chad's got like that Captain America vibe to him right now as he drinks his,
Wait,
muscle milk.
15,000 calorie protein shake right there.
is that a core power
Yo!
Oh
flavor?
my goodness.
Oh yeah, papi.
Chad, what
What's
day
up?
was it? Arms, chest, what?
All of
Chest.
it.
Damn.
Yeah, today was a leg day for me.
Chest and triceps.
Something, if I can say something about the points as well. The points as well, if you book your travel through their portal, you end up basically paying so much in points. So it's always good to transfer it. Right now, I just transferred my American Express points to Aero Mexico. And
Yeah.
right before I logged in, before I got on with you guys, I was trying to buy the flight to Mexico for next month. And it just became so difficult. Then I called them, and they're like telling me, well, 30-something thousand points plus 900 pesos. I'm like, it was like $349. The flight, mind you, it's $149. I got the cheapest one going over there one way, because I always book one way and then I book the other way.
Yeah.
I'm telling the lady, ma'am, you're charging me what the flight costs and then plus you want all my points. And I'm like, why can't I do it on the portal? Oh, you're not doing it. I went back. I have my number. So sometimes it becomes very difficult, even though you have the points, and then you end up losing because you end up paying the same thing you would pay, without the points, basically. So they take your points and they take your money. So for the average person, they might say, wow, 250,000 points, but they might book a flight right through, let's say American Express or Chase, and it might take all those points. And that's it. It was one flight and you're done. So you really have to become savvy and understand how to transfer the points and all that. And sometimes it becomes difficult. So
Yeah.
So
When those times come, you got to call Chaz Money Minutes, the transfer king over here.
I'm here with you. Because a lot of times what you'll end up running into is some of these programs, they will have their own imposed fees in addition to carrier fees, in addition to municipal fees like the $5.60 9/11 fee that you'll face in America, as opposed to the crushing taxes that you will face in England.
Right.
So you have to know like which programs will pass those fees through and others which may not pass them through, and also yet others still that won't hit you with their fees. Like that's why Air Canada Aeroplan is very popular in Star Alliance territory. Them and Avianca, those are great because a lot of those fees don't make it through. So like let's say you have a Lufthansa flight first class, you might have to pay 100,000 points, but it may be $60 on Avianca as opposed to booking it through United, where you pay 180,000 points plus $400. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, still beats the cash price, but learning which which programs in your respective alliances work out. Like Air Mexico, I've looked at some of their stuff, but I prefer to for SkyTeam is I either use Air France KLM or Virgin. Even though Virgin's a British-based company, still you can avoid a lot of the ancillary taxes through them. But Air France, which isn't talked about much as far as doing partner bookings, is actually they're pretty solid. You can get some good flights, even domestic Delta flights. You can get some great flights through Air France.
I'm gonna check it out because I was looking at another flight and I was trying to use American Airlines point or Chase, I think it was Chase points, and then transfer them to British, but all I could find was international flights. I couldn't find any but domestic flights.
And where are you trying to go?
Where was I looking?
Mexico?
It was I've looked in different areas, but I was looking at Puerto Rico was one. I was looking, I think I was trying to look to see if I saw anything in New York. Different routes like here and there, and I was like, I don't see anything through the British Airlines. I do see if you're going to fly internationally, but I couldn't find anything domestically.
Someone in the chat, Wills I Am said, what about using the VPN to change your location for booking?
The VPN, you said?
Yeah, he's asking pretty much like you get a VPN, you change it if you're in the United States, you change it to like a different country that has a lower fee or the fare might be lower.
I have a VPN, but I've only used it for crypto. I don't know for flights.
I've heard about
change your location.
Huh?
Yeah.
You just change your location. The once you log into your VPN, they'll get you through a server in that country, and a lot of people use that to like book low cost airline tickets, especially with national carriers.
Yeah, I've been seeing that a lot on TikTok, and it says a lot of people are trying to do that. Like I forgot what it's called. You book a flight. Let's say you want to go to Florida. You book a flight that's going somewhere else, but lands in Florida. So to them it might be $600, but then you change your VPN to a different location. It's like $200. So, I mean, I've personally never done that before. Because again, you never know what comes with that. But sometimes, like I think I'd rather just book the flight directly with the carrier because then I don't have to worry about anything. And if I have to call them if something delays, I talk to them directly and not anyone else.
Yeah, that makes sense. I gotta try the VPN though with the flights.
Yeah, if you need some help, just give me some locations. I could look some stuff up.
Thanks.
Because I got my browser up now. I'm ice cold with it.
Yeah. But I was thinking too, like, so Chad, how do you feel about this Capital One bonus, the 350K? Like, what would you do with the points if you were to get 350K points?
How much you guys spend? Is that what Joe's talking about? $200,000?
$100,000.
$200,000.
Oh man, there's no way in hell. $200,000 for 350K points.
Yep.
And that's a bargain.
So that's what 1.25% return. Quick math says.
Mm-hmm.
Shit. Sorry. I mean, 200,000 Capital One points. I'll probably take some Emirates flights. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
Man.
Nice first class. How about
No,
you?
it's 300,000 points.
300,000
300,000 points.
Wow. Then I'll take the
200,000.
Emirates round trip.
Yeah, 200,000 spin. But I think after the first 30,000 is 150K points.
Mm.
But we're still talking about $30,000.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
Like you're still talking about 30 grand, bro.
Here's the thing. Capital One kind of I don't know what they got going on, but I think they're putting their hat a little bit out of their own reach.
Yeah.
Because they don't have the gravitas in the spending community, in the business community to command that kind of spend. If you told me Chase or Amex had a bonus like that, it would instantly make more sense. You get what I'm saying? But not what's in your wallet. Come on, get out of here. There's no way. I can't even think about something like that. Don't get me wrong. Their spending portal on their page is literally, it's a beast. I've been going through it and I've gotten a ton of points through Viator interactions and all sorts of stuff. I've gotten a ton of Capital One points that way, but I mean, it's still Capital One. Don't get me wrong, their stuff transfers like everybody else's, but when I think of passing money through a card, the first thing that comes to mind is not Capital One.
Yeah, personally, and I will put my bias to the side about them. I think, like, if it was Chase or Amex, that'll make a lot more sense, like you said, because, like, those are the big movers in this space. But Capital One, like, one of the reasons I think people really get their cards, honestly, was the Saver One card and then the Venture X, because they said that you get back $5. Like, that's pretty much it. But as someone who has the Venture X and the Venture, I can tell you right now, it's complete trash. Like, I'm not getting any quote-unquote benefit from using these cards because, one, I don't use their transfer partners. And, yeah, you could transfer it to, I don't know, United from one of their partners in the Star Alliance. But at the end of the day, for someone who doesn't know how to do that, they're just going to get trapped into Capital One system and get bucketed. And I think that's what they're trying to really do. They're trying to be so predatory to these people that, oh, yeah, signing for this card is only, now you get 100,000 points. You get, I don't know, 250,000 points. But it's like once you sign up and you get bucketed, you're done. That's really it. You know, so to me, I'm not really a fan of them.
No.
I know a lot of other people got different opinions on that because, like I always say, like, I am open until the door closes, and Capital One closed that door. So,
doesn't Key have this card?
Yes,
Get a personal.
she does. She has the business one too.
Get a business one too.
Yeah.
And you know what? My cousin has the business one. I don't know what the sign up bonus was when he got it, but essentially, it's pretty much the only card that he uses. But at the same time, he's using it for like construction because he buy and sell and build houses himself and pay for windows and whatever materials there are. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So he's putting a lot of spin on that card, and I'm sure because it's 2x on everything, he's getting a decent return on it. You know what I'm saying? But it's not for everybody. Like it's just that card card's not for everybody. That card is for
credit
somebody
card or
It's a charge. It's also a charge card.
It's also a charge
brutal.
card.
Yeah, that's what. Okay, all right.
And how are you going to spend
If you're moving
$200,000
materials
in
for
3 months?
construction, you need a charge card.
Yeah,
and that's
$200,000 in 3 months on a charge card, bro. You better be a millionaire.
Yeah, if he's doing house flips, I could see him passing that kind of money.
Yeah. He the way he do it is he has like a deal with the city and with the state. So he buys certain houses. He has a certain amount of time to get them fixed up and under regulation, and he just move on to the next one per se. So
yeah, he's hitting that no problem. Like that makes sense for him. And in that point, once you have cost overruns, to be honest with you, a statement credit could be a godsend. You know what I mean? Yeah. Especially if you have a large stock of points. I mean, if you don't have a ton of points, I don't particularly tell people to do cash back, especially if you're a small shaker like us. I just don't see. A lot of people tell me that they want to have a strong cashback setup. Okay, I get it. Unless you are moving a lot of money through your cards and amassing a huge amount of points, normally your cash back is not really going to do much for you, because you spend $2,000 so you can go buy a Happy Meal from McDonald's with your cash back to say, here's my return. Oh, okay. Because a lot of
good ass Happy Meal.
They're not even giving you a penny a point. You see what I'm saying? They're not even giving you a penny a point. So if it was Amex to buy an extra value meal, how much money you have to spend to get the equivalent of a McDonald's extra value meal? Period. Yeah. But then people say, well, I don't want to travel because it's too complicated. I mean, that's fine, but the value, it's no debate. You know what I mean? Unless like Sledge's cousin, is it cousin or his friend?
Cousin.
Now, if you pass a ton of money through, if you have like rental properties, cash back, definitely viable. But most people, they simply don't spend enough to make any good use of cash back, and the banks get over because they buy points and they produce points in such volume that it's a fraction of a penny cost for them, and you're going to come out under. That's how come they always advertise the cards as cash back cards, even though they get points that can be used for travel. Because why advertise that which your customer gets a better return for it than you do?
521 Taipei just had a good comment. Cash in cash.
Oh, there it is.
Right. Use my EIN number from an LLC, but they still did an inquiry on a social security number. With Chase, if it's your first bank card, your first business credit card, or any issuer for that matter, they will run your personal credit.
Yeah.
Because they need a guarantee. That's why. So the EIN number going on, if you have other cards with that particular, so if you had a multiple Capital One cards, let me take that back. Capital One bangs you over the head with all three, right? At the same time. When they run a credit check, Capital One gets you one time on each at the same time. So TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian, they'll run. You'll see it pop up.
Yeah.
He opened up a Chase in cash card, and the thing is that when you're opening up, if it's your first card with a particular issuer, they're going to run your personal. If you don't have the history, they're going to do it.
Because they need to know specifically who you are. That you could be anybody, you know.
Right, that's their guarantee. That's their business guarantee for it. So,
but I want to bring up a point that Joe made earlier. Amex had $250K for their business platinum, and that card is $695, right? I think the Capital One business card is what, $395 as well.
Right.
But it was $250K for Amex, and their spend was $15,000 for Joe. I spent $20,000. Which is not that far off from 30, but at the same time, like, think about that. Amex is giving you $250K that you can cash out 1-to-1 if you have the business checking account and the business platinum. But Capital One is giving you the card with $350K. You have to spend $30K first to get the first half, and then $200K for the next half. Just think about that. Look at the issuers and then look at what they're giving you. You know, like, it doesn't make sense. It just doesn't add up. And especially during this climate where everyone is struggling to probably get money, whatever, $200K, bro, like, it wouldn't make any sense. And I think, like, if you really had the choice, would you choose Chase? Would you choose Amex or Capital One?
Chase and Amex.
I'm choosing Capital One off the top. Number one. I'm going straight to the one.
You going straight for it?
Hey man, what's in my wallet, man? You know what I'm talking about? I gotta go straight to the Capital One. It's the only card that you need, man.
Why you choose Capital One, Slash?
He loves them.
Listen.
See the credit card.
First of all, the marketing is phenomenal, right? So when I'm at home and I can't say when I'm watching TV because oh, I don't have ads on none of my stuff. But when I'm watching somebody else's stuff, and they just happen to have an ad on there, and it's like, they come on, man. How many Chase commercials we see? Okay, we do see the Kevin Hart commercials with Chase and all that, but I'm over Kevin. I've been over Kevin Hart for like many years, so I just dubbed those commercials, right? So then Amex, it looked too, it looked too richy for me, right? When I watched the commercial. So Capital was more relatable, man. So they just put me in, man. You got to start at the bottom. You got to start with the Capital One Platinum.
I see Michael B. Jordan.
The Quicksilver one, the Quicksilver, the Venture one. And then wait. And also, you can't start when you have excellent credit. You have to start when you have fair credit. So you can get the Quicksilver for fair credit.
That's right.
Then excellent credit, and then you just move up the ladder until you could get the Venture X, and you go from there, man. Yeah,
There's levels to this shit.
So you telling me
you guys been doing it all wrong. I'm making a new video on the right way to go through
Climb
the credit ladder.
Capital One ladder. Yeah.
that's so funny? Now, someone made a comment earlier, and imagine getting Capital One as your first card, right? And they're like, "Yeah, we'll give you $500 credit limit," and then you move up into every single class, and they're like, "Yeah, you're gonna keep getting that $500." And then for you to get the Venture X or the Venture, you need a certain limit, but you don't got the limit.
They're not going to give it to you.
Exactly.
No, you
Anthony,
gotta
let me ask.
That's just it. Once your credit get better, you got to reapply. So you just have all of them. You have all the
Take 2 more
Quicksilver,
times.
all the Ventures.
Anthony,
back
you
in the
just
day,
got the
had
card.
all the Saver cards,
Oh,
the Saver
man.
ones, all of those cards. Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Anthony,
guys
which
are doing
Venture
it
card
wrong.
did you get?
You get
I was
You
gonna
Dink
guys are doing it wrong.
I was
Or
gonna say,
you can go ahead and get the luxury card, gold card. Just start right with that one. $9.95 annual fee, and it's the only card you'll ever need.
Doug wants
You
you
can't
guys.
cancel. You can't cancel at any time.
He wants you guys to have 6 different.
Once you
Right.
sign up, it's for life.
I'm telling you right now, man. I think if Capital One, there's a couple things that could change. One, we really don't need a Capital One cafe in New York. That's not needed, honestly. Take that money that you put there and give us back some actual value in our cards. Let people cash out 1-to-1. You start off from there. Call it a day.
Hey, I like Capital One Cafe, man. Don't be fronting on the Capital One Cafe, man. You get that half off. You might only have a $500 credit limit, but it don't matter. You only buying a cup of coffee.
That's it. For $10.
Imagine, man. The only time I've ever had a credit limit under 10,000 is when I had my Discover It, and that was because I made it a secure card.
All right.
After that,
All right, so look, I want y'all to think about this then, right? Go back to what Dale said about the credit limit. In all actuality, right, and this is just being serious, in all actuality, most people don't need a credit limit over $500. Because if that was true, we wouldn't be in almost $1.5 trillion in debt.
Exactly.
Right? So many people want these high limit credit cards, and they want them just because they're a thing. You know what I'm saying? So they get 20 grand. Guess what? They in 20 grand in debt because they have 20 grand or they have 10 grand or whatever. So,
But for some of those cards,
than get 20 grand.
but for some of those cards, don't you have to, like the CSR, you need at least 10,000 as a limit, right? Like there's certain cards you need certain levels for it, right? So for the Venture X, I'm guessing it's the same. It's at least 10,000.
Right.
Anthony, which Venture card did you get, and what was your limit?
I got the $95 Venture and the I think it was a 4,000 limit. It was either 3,000 or 4,000.
And that so that's the Venture. The Venture one is the lesser one, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
That one also has $100,000 bonus on it too. So in total, if you get the Venture and the Venture X business, you get 450,000 points.
Again, but of what? But again, if you cash that out, you're getting $4,000 for what? For $200,000 of spend? Come on.
What is it? $205,000 is spent.
Get out of here, bro. Put that in a whack-ass Apple savings account right now, and you'll still come out ahead at the 3.8 or whatever they're giving you percent. Come on, it's
You know,
easy.
when you think about it, like a lot of people that apply for credit cards, not us, like we understand the industry, but like a lot of people of the Americans who apply for credit cards, they don't know anything. And for example, I was talking to my uncle this weekend, right? And I told him about Capital One. I told him about Amex. He had the gold card for like 10 years, never used the benefit, never got any like money from going and get Uber Eats, never even used it for dining, never did anything like that. He only used it when he had a purchase that he didn't want to put on his debit card. Do you know how many people in America are doing that right now? And literally the bank is getting every single dollar from them and they're not getting no benefit. So I told him, I'm like, hey, you travel a lot. Get the green card. Downgrade from 325 to 150. He had the venture, upgrade to Venture X. Get the cell phone protection. Because he pays like $400 in for his like plan because he has multiple people on his plan. But like a lot of people don't use these cards like that. And then now you add on 200K spend. Like you're trapping them, you know? And this is why Capital One sucks. That's my title. Because at the end of the day, no one is really using their cards for what it's worth. And then if you traveling, no one is getting business class. A lot of people are more quantity than quality. And I know Chad agrees with this. I'd rather fly business, baby. You know, all day.
I said, I'm too bougie. My finger's stuck in this position. When I be sipping in business class, it be like this. Like I caught a cramp when I was on Emirates. That's it. It was just stuff like this the whole time in Greece. People was like, hey, how you doing? You know, Yeah. And you know what? I'm gonna piggyback off of what you said. To reiterate, the marketing is so powerful. You know what I mean? This cashback card, that cashback card, this cashback card, that cashback card. And they'll tell you everything, and that's always front and center because that way they get the best return on their investment with your dollars. So people will get cards, not pay attention to the benefits, not use the cards. And I'm not talking about being a super min-max or optimizer or insert random weird gear term that credit card people know. But I'm talking about people don't use all the services that they pay potentially an annual fee to get, and then they charge the hell out of these cards, turn around, blame the cards for getting them in debt. You know what I mean? Oh, I have 10 credit cards. I have all this debt now. You have 20 credit cards? I bet you have debt. Well, no, I got 2 guns, and none of them have ever jumped out of a case and shot somebody. You see what I'm saying? And then you got people like that. That guy who was talking shit, Rashida or whatever his name is, who talk about people like us who tell people how to use the credit cards are grifting, and he don't even know how to use his. Like the ignorance is absolutely astounding, and you leave so much value on the table because their marketing is that powerful.
I want to bring up what Vlad just mentioned. And this could get a little political. I'm not trying to do that, but this is actually like crazy to me. He says literacy rate under 6th grade level for adults in America is 74%. Financial literacy is probably worse. And like, if we're being honest, I'm really small, right? Like, when I tell people I have like 15 credit cards, like you mentioned, they might think I'm in debt. Whole time, I have a better credit score than them. I have no debt, and I'm literally paying for all this stuff on my cards. Never use my bank card, you know. And a lot of people don't read into that, and that's exactly why Capital One is predatory, because of the marketing they do. Chase, they got Michael B. Jordan, Kevin Hart buying stuff with the credit card. You know, I mean, all of them are the same, but Capital One doesn't care if they look predatory or if they really just are just Capital One. You know.
Vlad Cruz is a smart guy.
Yeah.
He's my friend and former student who graduated almost 20 years ago from high school.
I got a stiff $100 bill for anybody who tells me they see Sam L. Jackson use a Capital One credit card in the wild.
He uses it. He uses it with Taylor Swift, bro. It's in. Forget it.
That's that's the too. Like, even think about it like this. Like majority of people who went to Coachella, which is the concert that they had recently, we're
not 100 years old. We know what Coachella is. Come on, bro.
That's a cheap shot, bro. You know what,
trying to
help people understand. I was trying to
I
simplify
literally
it.
just found out what it was.
But imagine putting Coachella on Affirm Afterpay, you know, and nowadays that's going towards your credit card or your credit history. So imagine doing, right? And then you got on $20,000 in credit card debt. You're screwed. You can't get a house. You can't get a car. You probably can't even get a phone because they check your credit. You can't get an apartment because they check your credit. And if you, let's say you don't have a month and a half to add on to the rent, where are you gonna live? You know. So
but look at what Dennis Dunn, and we talked about this last night. Dennis Dunn says Capital One is the #1 subprime lender. How do you think they bought Discover? If you think about it, it makes sense because Discover is usually the first card people get, right?
Yeah.
And we tell people get the secured Discover card as your first card if you don't have credit and whatever, right? So I could see where that makes a lot of sense, you know. But we all know also the other side of it is Capital One probably wants to improve because their customer service is just terrible and non-existent. And even their algorithms, you go into a bank, you don't get an answer. You got to go online and call in front of them.
And there's no banks.
It's ridiculous. There's no service. There's nothing there. You know, so I don't understand how people could go with that.
Because here's the hierarchy, right? At the bottom, customer service. Number 2, customer retention. And at the very top, customer acquisition.
Right, for sure.
That's the model that Capital One uses because they advertise their cards as, we don't charge you any late fees. We don't charge you any over fees. We don't charge you any foreign transaction fees. And that's how they rope people in. Oh, I can get this card, and if I make a mistake, they won't charge me. Be 1 second late with their payment. And this is me sitting at the honest table. I have destroyed my credit, and I've used Capital One as my main weapon. So I've destroyed my credit on numerous occasions. And I did so with Capital One cards because while they don't charge you fees, they have an incestuous relationship with credit reporting agencies. They will report you the instant you are late. There is no, you see these guys, oh, if you just write this letter, fill in, paste here, that don't work with Capital One. They will tell you, nope. And that sits on your credit. So when they bucket people, which is very ingenious, you pull them in, keep them low, let them charge up to their utilization, give them very small or no credit limit increases in order to mitigate the utilization and trap them for life. Now they can't get your new products. You're hitting their credit with inquiries, and you make a lifelong customer because you sell them a boat and keep poking holes in it as they sail, and then sell them the bucket to get the water out.
All right, hold on, man.
Oh, yo, man, you're like
freaking
wow. Yo, that just became like Aristotle, Socrates.
Wait, I gotta talk about the flip side of that, though, right? I gotta talk about the flip side of it. Now, this is just in general. Subprime lenders are also needed, right? Mm-hmm. Because you can't have people that mess up and then we just block them out forever.
True story.
Right? So you have people that have messed up on their credit, and Capital One was that way back in. Me per se, right? Mm-hmm. I was Capital One my way back in, and then also think about this: when we talk about predatory lenders, they're all predatory. Right? There's not one of these lenders that's like, oh man, we really care about these customers. All they care about is money. But on the flip side of that, what do you think is more predatory? A lender that looks at your credit and say, oh, this person's working on it. They got a 670, which is labeled as good credit, which could get you American Express, Bank of America, Chase, whoever else, right? And then they say, you're working on your credit. Here's $500. Here's $1,000. Here's $2,000. Whereas that person, some of these other banks are like, okay, we see you a little bit irresponsible. You're a little bit responsible. Here's $7,000. Like, if you look at it, who seems like the more predatory lender? You know what I'm saying? So,
Damn Amex.
I
Freaking
gotta
Amex.
concede
for
to that.
all of them.
I gotta concede to that point. I would love to argue, but you actually made a really good point.
No. He makes sense.
Listen, there's a place for all of these lenders, and it's up to us to educate ourselves and people like Anthony and Jackie and Joe and Dale and Chad to kind of help people along that need that education. Because man, these businesses is exactly what I just said they were. They're businesses, and a business is in the business of making money. You know what I mean? Like they're all in the business of making money. So we just have to figure out the way to surf through all of this and pick them as we go along. So
Think about
I
what
just had to
Sledge.
throw that out. I had to come out there behind Aristotle. the credit card Aristotle. It's hard to come behind Chad. He comes with such an eloquent conversation, and I'm like, man, do I really want to go next? But I have.
It's hard to follow.
We appreciate it. We appreciate it, Sledge. We appreciate it. Definitely.
For sure. You know, I always got to be the other side of the coin, man.
Think about what Sledge just said. I want to venture off to Mr. Venture himself and ask him what made him open up his Capital One card.
Well, much like a lot of people, and I'm actually with Sledge on this. I actually do agree. Like most people who heard their credit or have never had credit before, like me, I got denied for everybody. And Capital One ended up being like one of the first banks to ever give me a shot, give me my first card. So like I'm eternally grateful for Capital One because I had no other options otherwise. I didn't even know about Discover back then, really. I didn't know about any of the banks. But like the fact that I could just put down a deposit and get like a 99% chance of an approval, I was like, that's everything. I can attribute Capital One to every card that I have now. Let's go. But I will say I put it all together because I wanted to see what it would look like. And I'm with you, Sledge. I've climbed the ladder before. I got every silver. I got every.
What the
every
heck is that, bro?
You like that? Look at that.
That in itself is a good thumbnail. That's funny.
Yeah, that was good. Listen, you have to climb the ladder. I went from platinum secured. It eventually got upgraded to a platinum unsecured. Got a Quicksilver. Product changed that platinum secured to another Quicksilver. Got a Venture. Got the Venture X. Well, Venture X and Saver are both. One is Kate's and one is an authorized user from Cali. But hey, man, I'm with Capital One. I like them, and I'm using their miles for a lot of good stuff going forward, I think.
So is it safe to say that they're great for people that just starting out or don't have the credit history, but not so great if you're trying to apply and you're already set with a history and a hell of a lot of cards?
That's not true for VentureX, though. It's a lot
No,
of
not
people
for
that
VentureX.
get
I'm talking about in
VentureX.
general. I'm talking
in
general.
right. But you know what, Joe? Those cards aren't for those people. If you think about it. Well, maybe the Saver.
Yeah.
But like the Quicksilver and
I
the
want
Platinum,
the Saver, bro. Chad got the Saver. Chad, which version of the Saver did you get when you opened it? Was it the one for good credit or the one for excellent credit? Did you get the bonus?
It was the one for good credit. I didn't even get a sign-up bonus for it.
That's what I remember. You
alternatives to the gold card.
So why did you get that? Okay, can you explain that? Because it gives people that can pay it off in time. It maybe not be terrible. Why? Tell them why you did it.
The reason was I had a feeling that the gold card annual fee was going up anyway. In addition to that, it was the very first card I got in 2024. I got it on January 1st, 2024. I got it because even though the gold card was first in class, because at that time they had the regular Saver, which was $95 that matched the gold card, 4% back for restaurant and groceries, which they've since done away with. I just wanted to see what alternatives are out there. You know what I mean? And as the gold card goes up, my job situation changed. And now I don't buy the office lunch every day. So it's not the points machine that it used to be, you know, and I just wanted a hedge, and it was a no annual fee card. I figured, hell, why not try it? But then also there are so many cards you can eat with. The Chase Freedom Unlimited, the Chase Freedom Flex, the Saver, the Chase Strata Premier, the Chase Sapphire Preferred, the Next Green, the
autograph,
the built card, the autograph card, and the majority of those cards are no annual fee. Yeah. So it's like I could pay $300 something now. Well, at the time, $250 for 4% or nothing for 3%. Now, I'm not the highest grade of marijuana in the dispensary, but I figured that was, you know.
Anna's living proof. Anna said she had the Savor for Good, and then she got the Savor for Excellent. That's awesome. See, but that's rare because everybody that comes on here says they get stuck and bucketed and can never get out of the bucket that they put them in.
Yeah,
you know? So
I've
I'm
been
glad to see
bucketed for
Anna
20 years.
Torres saying that it's possible.
I've been bucketed for 20 years.
Yeah.
My venture card started as a Capital One Platinum card with the lightning on the front because I thought the design was cool. And I finally got it changed to a Quicksilver I got that card originally in 2000. It didn't change to a Quicksilver and get a $500 bump to $1,000 until 2017.
Jesus Christ.
Me and my wife were dating when I got the Quicksilver card.
Oof.
And I had that card since I was 18.
See,
I've been in the bucket that long.
the funny thing is with that, like, when I had discovered it, I put down like, what was it, like $500 secured, cool. But once I quote unquote graduated from that, they bumped me up to like $3,000. I didn't ask for that. You know, they gave it to me. And I feel like, to add to Sledge's point what he made earlier, if, let's say, for instance, if Capital One is not being really predatory, I think they would consider their customers. You can't have these cards, right, and not have good customer service or people who to give them benefits or detail what's going on with their accounts. Like, if you're going to be this subprime lender and you know your target audience don't really have good credit scores, don't really have like good credit knowledge, you want to be able to to service them. You want to be able to keep them, you know? Like Chad just said, he got the car in 2000. In 2017, that's 17 years.
Wow.
A lot changes in
Guess
17.
what? They kept them.
I'm telling you, acquisition, retention, all the way down here is service.
I could appreciate all these banks in some way. And like you said, Sledge, I do agree. All these banks are predatory. It's just that at some point in time, I think I've started to rank them from best to least. And this even goes to Amex too. Their customer service is trash now, you know? But I think with Capital One specifically, I've had the worst time, and it's only been 6 months. You know, I can't really vouch for it. But I do know if someone, let's say they don't want to get the Amex Platinum, I'm like, get the Venture X. You know, like, you don't want the Amex Platinum, but you want the same benefits, get the Venture X. Because it might not work for me, but for someone else it might. So at the end of the day, that's all I care about. As long as people are being, you know, getting what they want, that's all I care about. But it's funny that you guys have had Capital One for so long and you just been in that bucket.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's it. I think the Venture X is a great mid-tier card for a weekend warrior. It's great for somebody who just wants things done for them. The credit, you got to go through the portal. Okay, somebody else is going to take care of it. Boom. It's a Visa Infinite. If I want to rent a car, I can rent a car through the portal and still exercise the benefit. I don't even have to think about it unless something goes wrong. Because really and truly, it's a venture with lounge access. Because the venture is $95 to get you the same 2X. Before, it used to get you at least one trip to the lounge. It doesn't anymore. Okay, big deal. But, you know, you get a higher limit. And, I mean, you get the Capital One lounges. You get the same 50% off at the Capital One Cafe, which I do have to vouch for. I've had Capital One Cafe. It was quite tasty. You know, I just think it's a great mid-tier lounge card that somehow, some way, through, and shamefully, I got to say, some YouTube promotion, punches with heavyweights like the CSR and the Platinum, and it really does not belong in that category.
Yeah, I could agree with that. Like, funny thing is, I'm actually going to Capital One lounge on Sunday after my trip back home from Dallas. So we'll see. I'll have a video for that because honestly, I've never been to one of their lounges. I mean, they only got like 3 of them, but I'm excited to see what that's like. But until this card is due for an annual fee, I'm gonna use all the benefits. Every
Which
single
one are you going to?
DFW.
Okay. That lounge is in the D terminal.
Yeah.
And it's
Right next to the flagship.
right next to the flagship because
Next
it's
to the
like
flagship.
in the next hall is the Centurion.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. And then on my way to Dallas, I'm going to the Chase Lounge in LaGuardia. So we'll see about that. We'll see about
Yo, the one in Boston,
that.
11 out of 10.
Okay.
11 out of 10.
Yeah.
So I haven't been to the one in LaGuardia, and I hope it measures to the one in Boston. But I can't lie. If Chase ramped up their lounge game to compete with American Express, would really have some things to worry about because Chase, the Sapphire lounges are pretty good.
Yeah, I feel like Amex is getting to that boat with Capital One, honestly, in terms of their customer service and in terms of the product that they're putting out. I think Vlad brought up a good point, though. I think he says Capital One is apparently the third largest card issuer after Chase and Citigroup. But like we said before, Vlad, they bought Discover, but even before then, a lot of people in America have subprime credit. So,
Did I tell you Vlad is a smart guy? I mean, I'm just saying. I've known him since he's 14. Eh? It's terrifying that he's here.
He's
So,
fucking with him.
no,
Listen.
Look, I think the people like myself, I'm gonna be straight 100. I
mhm.
can't stand Capital One because I can't get their freaking card. It's as simple as that, right? I'm keeping it real. I have a Venture X thanks to Key, but it's not really mine, right? Let's just call it that.
You get the same benefits.
But I want the saver. I really want it, believe it or not, because I don't need the lounge access. Big deal. I wanted the saver card because that's supposed to be really their better card out of all of them. If you look at it, pound for pound wise for what you're paying for it, which is nothing, and getting the solid multipliers across the board. It's a great freaking card. But I refuse to get the one with no for just and credit when it's at 835. Like Chad made fun of me, which Chad, again, now that we're here live, thank you for mocking me on your April Fool's video. That was straight up fire. You and Anthony that day slayed me both. And I thank you for that because it was amazing. Everything, the chancleta flying in front of you. Rain killed it with that. Anthony with his gray hair killed it with that.
That's over there.
It was just amazing.
Anthony's video in the morning, I was so,
Oh,
I was like, oh man, they got my guys. Like that's crazy. I was like, damn, bro, that's crazy.
So look who's in the house now. Talk about who knows travel. Damian.
Hey,
Traveling on everyday spend.
With the super chat. Super chat.
Super chat en la casa. Wepa. He goes, we all know the
Appreciate
Capital One bucket. He's been in the same bucket for a decade.
and he said he can't get another
About the
car.
No. It's crazy.
The funny thing is, when I do Capital One,
Good night, puppy.
when I do Capital One pre-approval, I literally get the platinum card, and I think the MasterCard, whatever it is after that. Like I don't get anything, Saver, VX, Venture. I don't get anything. I just get a platinum card and whatever the bottom tier cards are, and it's like it's not good credit. It's fair credit. I'm like, what did I do? And get them. Crazy.
You know what?
I take it personal.
You just gotta do it. Look, you just gotta do it. The same thing was happening for me. It was like I kept trying to pre-approval, and I don't even need the card. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't even need the card. Just like you, Joe. You don't need to. You know why you don't need the saver? You don't need the saver because you had an autograph card, which is essentially the same
I get
card.
it, but it's just to say that I
Green
got it.
card.
You know what I'm saying? It's a pride thing.
Right.
That,
But
like,
listen,
pride that you want to get that card. Like
Look,
when you wanted to get the
honestly,
hot girl in school and you couldn't, then you waited to college and then you still couldn't, but then you got a good job and then you could. Right? That's me. So I'm waiting.
Yeah,
I
exactly
played the long
what
game.
with that card.
Joe's gonna get that card and
Wow.
Joe, so
Yeah,
you
look.
applied with an 835 and you
They,
still couldn't
they'll
get
only
it?
give me good credit.
No.
They'll give me the one for good credit. That's it.
Oh.
Hold
not
on,
ready.
Jackie. Joe is afraid to actually apply. See, that's what it is.
I did
He
the
don't-
pre-approval.
He afraid of denial. That's why he never got that girl. Because he afraid.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
He
What?
waited till he got a good job.
Yeah,
Listen to me.
What?
Look,
Joe don't
but the
want the
same thing happened to
denial.
me. I kept doing a pre-approval. I kept getting the trash card, and then I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna apply for this. I just applied for it, and they gave me the Sabre. It was the Sabre 1 at that time. The Sabre 1 for good credit, because there's no Sabre 1 now. They all Sabre
But
cards.
I don't want the good credit one. I know I could get it.
I mean, sorry, for excellent credit.
Okay.
Yeah, they gave me the one for excellent credit. Yeah, I got the sign-up bonus and everything.
Yeah, but if
yeah.
Joe credit score hit an 849, we're gonna have to talk him down off a roof.
Bro,
I'll kill myself, bro.
if he apply here, have it, bro.
No, why don't you
If he
call the
apply here, have it.
reconsideration
You
hotline?
can't. That's a robot on the other side. There's no reconsideration with Capital One.
No, they got a recon. They
No,
told me
they
no
got
a few times.
Yeah.
They've approved you over the phone.
No. I said they've told me no.
Oh, they told you.
Me too.
Yeah, I've never successfully gotten them to reconsider me, but
So we just go to the rejection line.
That's what it is. It's a rejection line.
I don't want 3 dings to my credit, man. I know it's not good after, or you're fine after like a month, but like I'm good. I don't need that, you know.
Where
That's
are
why I
they putting you from?
But you getting
Every
All 3.
you talking yourself out
All
of it.
3?
Yeah, all 3 of them. Imagine
You know how bad they are. I went to buy out my car last year, and when you go to the dealership, they'll try to run all the banks to see who's going to give you the better deal. Capital One dinged me 3 times, and I didn't get a Capital One loan for the car. That hurt. I ended up with Bank of America. That killed me. And they said, "Oh, it'll only be 1. It'll hit once." I was like, "You're lying. I know it's going to hit every bureau." So come on, give me a break.
I've only had capital.
Last year, 2024.
And you
Yeah,
can't
see.
freeze none of them? You can freeze none of them when you're trying to apply?
I did. You know what it was? I wasn't applying. I went to the dealer. I didn't know who they were gonna, pull to see who was gonna give me the. They just ran it, and he goes, "Oh, you got great credit. You'll have no problem." And I got screwed.
yeah, Tesla.
I go with my own financing, bro.
Well, when I get patients, it depends who I'm like. Let's say if I have a patient and the credit is not that good, I run it through a bank that runs it through several banks. So it gives me different tiers. This bank will approve if it's, excellent credit, this one if it's okay, and this one if it's a lower tier. So yeah, it depends. I talked to the patient a little bit. So yeah, that's what happened. They ran it probably through one of those that just threw your credit out there with different creditors.
That one hurt. That one hurt like hell. Yo, guys, hit that like and subscribe, please, guys. Check it out. We got a lot of people in the house.
We got 107 people viewing right now. Yeah,
we're killing it. Let's get those numbers up.
Listen,
Yo, madskills.com. Thank you for that info. I did do the Venture X page, and then they said sorry at this point. Then they mailed me a letter that I wasn't gonna.
I'm not taking that denial any day. I'm not doing it.
Man, it's one hard inquiry, Dale. Y'all be too scared of getting an inquiry. Listen,
Not the end of the world.
I done had over 60. I done had over 60 credit cards, probably close to 70 at this point. What is the hard inquiry doing to you that's getting you so far away from it? I don't get it. Like I don't understand that. I don't understand about being afraid of the hard inquiry.
No, it's not that hard. It's not that I'm afraid. It's just that I know what I'm gonna like. We all do this and we all talk about it.
But
you don't know
right?
for sure, Joe. You don't know.
U.S. Bank.
You too, Anthony. Let me ask Aristotle. Aristotle, what would you do? Socrates, help me out here.
I'm gonna
Capital One, U.S. Bank, and Citi. I didn't pre-approve for anything on any of them, and I still got the cards. The pre-approval don't mean everything all the time.
What did the U.S. Bank give you?
DJ super chat. Shout out to DJ for the super chat. But
DJ Bruce Wayne, thank you, puppy.
Honestly, Sledge, like I'm be honest with you, like, and this might be just a thing in my head. I'm just like you with them stocks. I don't want this stuff to drop. My credit score is on the road. Right now I'm at like 17. I need 80-50. I need to get up there.
Okay. But think about it like this. I get that. I understand that, right? So you apply for the Venture X, right? Because you're not going to apply for the lower car. You apply for the Venture X. You go at least get 10 grand. You're going to lose 3 points for the hard inquiry and then gain how much for getting 10 grand worth of more credit, or 30 grand, or 25 grand. The credit limit is going to outdo the hard inquiry every time.
Yeah. I see a point. I see a point. And I think maybe sometime later this year, like Christmas, you know what? Yo, Capital One, I might come back. I might come back. You know, but
Christmas
right
miracle.
now I have both of them for my P2, and I'm an authorized user, so I'm good. But when Chase gives me that new bonus for that ink card, I'm running back to the ink train. I'm running back to the ink train. I need that.
And you're getting those 12 months interest free.
Exactly. I like those. I never thought that the 0% APR was really that good. I'm like, I'm never gonna use that, and I did, and I'm like, this actually is kind of useful. Not gonna lie, you know. But Capital One, man, like I said before, everyone has their own use case, and me personally, I just can't find mine yet, and maybe that's just because I'm not looking hard enough or not. Hopefully, something pops up and it's like, oh, I could use that. Maybe I'll visit the Capital One Cafe. Maybe get a little cappuccino or something like that. I don't know, but like I said, man, like personally, Capital One right now for me is a no shot, and I do appreciate when people give me their takes on that, like Sledge, because I do agree when it comes to people getting these cards that don't really have good credit. You know, though I do believe no matter if someone is not good with money, they're never gonna be good with money. You get $500 credit limit, you're gonna max that out. 10,000, you can max it out anyway. So it just depends on the card. But like I said, like that's just someone's use case, you know.
For sure.
Anthony's been very quiet. Anthony, what's wrong?
Yeah.
Who
Yeah,
hurt
he's
you?
risky venture. I'm trying to understand. I thought he was going to be the one to back up Capital One.
Well, I don't agree with any of that. I agree that Capital One is great because they finally gave me the venture. I'm a little bit happy that they did that. Now, I will say, in your guys' defense, I was not pre-approved for the venture when I first applied 9 months ago. Was pre-approved this time, and I got approved last time I got denied. So I do think the pre-approval does matter. Maybe on the venture side, maybe not on the saver side because Sledge got through. I would like to, you might be able to just get through without a pre-approval with the saver, Joe. To be honest, yeah, he's and actually, funnily enough, my wife who had I think she had a MasterCard Quicksilver. She just got an upgrade offer, so I just said screw it, upgraded right to the saver. And I'm trying to work it out right now where apparently if she has a saver and I have my venture, and she adds me as an account manager in her account. Someone online, I still have to test it. It might be possible to transfer her saver cashback to my venture miles, and then I could use that for transfer partners and stuff. I was like,
I'm sure you can.
You can. That's what I do right now.
Oh, really? You do that?
Yeah. So like I'm the account manager of my mom's Venture X, but like maybe it's just a Venture X.
You know what he means? Authorized user. Let's just put it like
I mean, actually, no. Account manager is different.
I'm hating on Dell right now.
Account manager, you got full blown access to do anything, like to redeem the benefits, everything like that. So that's what I do. Like when I get miles and my mom get miles, I'm just using the miles because she doesn't really care about them. So you could do that. But yeah, like I said, like I honestly, you not having a Venture X card for the time being, I'm like, that's crazy. That's so bad on so many levels. I remember when you wanted it and Joe wanted it. I'm like, yeah, what's going on? It's crazy. It's crazy.
I just think don't lock yourself out of potential future travels. Like I'm glad I got that bonus on the venture. I actually wish now I would have waited like a week because they came out with the 100K offer. I got the 75K plus 250 cash, but I'm going to use that for something else.
Isn't it almost the same though, Puppy? How does that work? What's the difference between those bonuses?
Because go ahead.
Yeah, when you get the 100K, that's 25K extra miles that you use to transfer to like your partners and whatnot. When you get the 250, it's just cash in the portal. So I think I'm going to use it on like a rent a car or maybe a small hotel. I have to look, see what maybe a boutique hotel to their portal or something. Yeah. So I actually would prefer the 100K, but it's
they don't match it, Anthony. Like if you know how Chase does, if you apply within a certain time, no.
Yeah, Capital One doesn't match, unfortunately. Yeah.
I use that's $250 for this Dallas trip. But I don't know if you know, but like if someone had the VX or the venture card, if they referred you get 100,000 points, and that was even while that bonus was going.
Yeah. So I guess it all depended on what that person got as the referral. Like if you signed up, got 100K, then your referral will show 100K. Like mine only shows 75K and 250.
But that's the one that like my mom had gotten that one, the 75K plus the 250, and then when I did the referral, it was like 100K. I think that's when I asked you guys on your live, and I'm
Really?
like, should you apply for it? But yeah, it was 100K, and then they brought out the
Really?
100K. Like you could just apply for it now.
Interesting. Wow, you got it in early then. That's cool. I just think don't lock yourself out of a currency that can give you some cool potential trips. Now because I basically maxed out Chase last year. I maxed out Amex years ago. Now
God
I'm
bless you.
but now I'm trying to hammer Capital One a little bit. I'm starting to hear reports of people who like got the venture and then like a few months later were pre-approved Venture X. I'm like, all right, if that comes around, get some more points,
Yeah.
get some more trips, hopefully. Hell yeah.
Yeah, honestly, though I might hate them right now, you're right. Never lock yourself out of a good deal. So hopefully,
points.
if by the time the card annual fee renews or whatever, I think what I'm gonna do is refer myself and then get the card, get the points.
Wait, refer yourself, you said?
Yeah. So not like refer myself, but he to refer me.
He's gonna be in Capital One jail.
Correct, yeah. Get blacklisted immediately.
Or real jail.
You would never,
Yeah, straight up. We just
My player
There's
two refers
no.
me, and I get the card. I refer myself. Let me correct my saying. Player two
Yes,
refers me, I get the points and the card. But like I said, 100K, you can use a lot with that. I cashed out my points with Chase, Amex, and Capital One. Yeah, but at the end of the day, points is points. You get them back.
Yeah.
do you?
Yes.
So do you?
Yeah.
I'm afraid. Like I'm gonna admit something to everybody here live. I'm a straight up punk because I don't want to lose stuff, right?
Yeah.
And today I was telling you guys off air before we went live. I'm trying to book my flight to PR, so I don't want to go. You killed me, Chad, with the pinky in the air. I'm not going economy, and I'm not going economy plus. I want to go first class or business of Puerto Rico. So United's flight is 110,000 United miles plus 1,200 out of pocket for 2 tickets, first or business class round trip. Is that worth it?
Is the 1,200 like the tax?
No, 1,200 is the act. So the way United does it is money in miles, they call it. So they give you. So it was 110,000 miles plus or points plus $1,200 out of pocket to cover both tickets, round trip, first class or business. Is that worth it?
United miles?
From where you are?
Why
That's
don't
a
you
lot,
do
right?
full points, especially since it's domestic. What's the full points price?
So so they wouldn't give me a full point. The price out of pocket was $2,400, 24 something for 2 tickets if I just went straight up cash, first class.
Oh, well, if that's the case, you're getting over a penny plus per point because you still basically have to pay for 1 ticket, especially if you have $1,200 using United card for it.
Yeah.
I mean, that will bump you up, especially also with the multiplier on the United card. I mean, it's all right. It's not knock it out of the park good, but I mean, it's still
What would you do? What would you guys do? Because I'm glad we're here live because I was gonna pull the trigger before we came on, and I said, let me get my guys and my girl tonight and ask live because I have no freaking clue.
Wait, the wife is going too?
Yeah, to PR when we go to Puerto Rico.
So that's the total price, or that's for you?
$1,200 for both of us to go.
Oh, that ain't that bad then.
And
Okay, all right. I thought you were talking
114,000
about for 1
points.
ticket.
And plus 114,000 points out of pocket.
I thought you were saying 1,200 for one person.
No.
Me too.
No.
Yeah.
No, I mean, it's for both. And if you're using your United card to recoup some of the points, I mean, I would just use my Platinum card. But I mean, if you're going to use a United card anyway, you're going to
They
get
give me 9 times per dollar for the flight.
9, 12, 2, 108, 2, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's not bad.
I can't with you. I swear to
I think that it's too early though, Joe.
That's why.
I just
Okay.
feel like the flights are just too high right now. I think they're gonna come down once we get like 3 months out or something like that. Because I've looked at flights from different carriers, and all of them are pretty up
They're
there.
high, right? I'm not
Yeah,
crazy.
and even
Delta
coming from
wanted-
Florida.
For Comfort Plus,
Yeah.
Delta wanted for 1 ticket almost $1,000 for Comfort Plus, leaving out of here from New York to Puerto Rico because it's a 4.5 hour flight, more or less.
Yeah, that's
And they don't
that's
even
kinda
give
crazy.
you pajamas like these.
Oh my God, what a flex! But we can't see it because you're fading back into your background. Bring it closer, Papa. There you go. Look at how comfy that is.
Magic.
They're over doing magic.
Let the next credit card be in,
They have
Dubai.
vitamin E and olive oil in them from Emirates.
Let the next credit card meetup be in Dubai.
Let's
So
do it.
Michael Pythian wants to know the next creator meetup will be where most of us are getting there November 6th until at least the 11th. The actual meetup is November 8th. A lot of us are staying at the Caribe Hilton Hotel in San Juan, but there's a lot of other hotels in the area. So that's it's not Labor Day weekend, it's Veterans Day weekend.
Yeah, Veterans Day. Yeah.
I know, because you put labor, so
Yeah, I did
they'll be
put
there in
Labor Day.
September.
My bad. That's when the
Listen.
youth is.
No, but Dennis, the ticket that I was looking for, just so that people know, is for November. That's why. So I was waiting. I put it on Google Flights for them to track it for me to see if they can get me something if they see that it drops enough. But I just think it was a lot.
it's too early, man. 'Cause
Right?
I looked at
Okay.
a variety of airlines, and they all pretty high right now.
So you didn't buy yours yet? Anybody buy their
I didn't-
flights yet to
I'm gonna
PR?
wait.
I haven't even
I
got
have
my
my hotel, but not my.
All right, so can we make a bond here live that we're gonna tell each other when we're gonna buy it? Like Anthony saved my butt with the Caribe Hilton because I was able to get all those. What?
Anthony be leaving me out, man.
Oh, yo, Anthony, what did you do to Sledge? He just put the camera in his area.
I'm about to close the computer.
Wow.
I thought it was something else, to be honest. Wait, how did I help you? What happened?
Anthony, wow, you helped me with the Hilton, telling me that they just hit it, that they just put it out that we could book, and I was able to get all the nights through points.
Oh yeah, we were on the
We
phone.
did it early enough. But I think
Well, you-
Sledge is hurt because
Oh,
you didn't bring up. Sledge just did his taxes last night at 10 o'clock at night.
I see. Well, look, Sledge has to just do what Joe does and calls me randomly in the middle of the night, and then he asks me for my wisdom,
He
and then
in the shower.
I bestow upon the wisdom in the shower. That's how I give it. But
Tell everybody what you recommended to me, so now we could tell the world, Anthony. What's the name of it? Go.
oh, it's an accounting software. I met the founder at FinCon. He seemed like a really cool guy. That's great. That's a great start. But it's called Kick.co, and so I've been using it for the last 6 or so months, and it's been amazing. It's an accounting software where you literally just link all of your credit cards, your bank accounts. So like in my example, I just have like a Chase checking and then a bunch of credit cards. Every single transaction will go and be listed out on the software, and you can change what they're called. Like, okay, this is an expense or this is a personal thing. It's StreamYard, this is a write-off. So it'll auto create a rule for that. Every time StreamYard comes back up, it'll say, oh, that's an expense. And at the end of the year, you have a whole balance sheet on your business. So Anthony Venture YouTube channel, whatever. And then you give that to your accountant, and then he does your taxes, and you don't have to worry about the write-offs and everything. Because I used to put it all on a note, and like notes in my iPhone. It's like, okay, pictures of my receipts and stuff. But now it's all in the software. You just give it to him in the end, and you're done. And I think it's been worth it so far. It's my first accounting software. And Joe, you said like some people were like, oh, QuickBooks does this, but it wasn't as good as QuickBooks. You said.
I
No,
called
QuickBooks wasn't
Anthony.
as
I
good
was
as-
suicidal doing my taxes, and the guy. And then the good thing is, Sledge, when you do it, the guy gives you an appointment virtually that you can ask him any question. You could go on screen. He worked me through it, and I'm telling you, if it wasn't for that, and it's for content creators more than any, it's built around that. That's what he told me when we talked. He said, "Look, the idea was, the write-offs, what you could write off, what you can't. It categorizes it all for you." Had I done that from the beginning of January last year, I could have just turned in the sheet that they gave me and called it a day. It was that easy.
Yeah.
And it was so worth it. When you get on Sledge, you'll see it's so worth it. But that was all Anthony who saved me from that, because I was like crying. It was crazy.
You just got to give me a call. That's all. Give me a call.
What's the price? What's the price?
30 something a month, which is the same as QuickBooks. Literally the same, but so much easier.
Oh, you're able
and
to
it's
pay
geared
monthly?
around. Huh?
I didn't know you were able to pay monthly. I just paid the 1 year.
I did
when
the
it's
1
on-
year, but you could
Yeah.
pay it monthly.
Yeah.
But
Hmm.
Anthony was like, "You had to pay."
worth
They did give me a special discount though. That's funny.
So, Del, you have anything else you want to add to us, puppy? Because I know Sledge has to bounce, and it's getting late for some of the people.
I wanted to say something quick about Puerto Rico.
Go ahead, Mama.
just because I have a wedding in December, and of course, right next to November, I started looking, and I think Southwest. If any of you guys have points, I think Southwest does fly to Puerto Rico.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
But it depends on where you live, right? Because I don't even know where the hell of Southwest would come out of New York. I've never seen
Probably JFK,
I'm sure they do.
God.
maybe.
You got a house down here, Joe.
Okay, I'll check it. Okay. No, because the thing is, for me, I hate going to New York to fly. It's such a nightmare. 2 bridges, and it's just an hour and a half to get to JFK. Newark is 20 minutes. So I gotta, but I'm gonna check that out, Jackie. Thank you.
Yeah, check it out.
But we're gonna make a plan, right? We're gonna each tell each other when we're gonna buy our tickets.
Yeah.
And when I'm gonna get no.
Well, y'all know I'm flying in every day from Miami. I'm taking a helicopter to the meetup every day.
Wow.
So
Oh,
I'm just flying to Miami.
Yo, then scoop up Jackie. Jackie's right there, and Juan Garcia. Just make it a group
You
trip.
can jump right in the helicopter, man. We gonna go over to
Right.
PR every day.
We're running class.
Aristotle might be there too. Who knows?
CJ.
I had a whole Florida crew there.
That's crazy.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm not staying at the Caribe. I'm staying at the Olive. It's a SLH property. I guess it's in that general area, but the Caribe didn't have the days that I wanted to book.
I think
There you
Filmo,
go.
Anthony, Xavier, and myself, we're all on the same floor, facing whatever the hell. We all booked like the same room. I thought it was like king size, facing the beach or something like that.
But y'all booked the same room?
Oh,
I'm sorry, I slipped.
Yeah, that
It's a
didn't
suite.
sound right.
I'm sorry, Jackie. Don't start, Jackie. That's not nice.
Just saying.
this is how rumors
Look at
start.
Aristotle's eyes. Aristotle's eyes look down there. It's just like,
Yo, wow.
You
That's
never know.
That's funny.
I'll go put the wig on again.
yo,
Right here.
no comment. No comment. Then, sorry, let me stay quiet. That was too easy. So Del, what do you have to say, Del? Want to wrap this up?
Yeah, man. Listen, I appreciate everyone joining this stream tonight, my first live. And I appreciate the conversation. As you guys heard, the title Capital One sucks, but I do think that Anthony brought up good points. Sarge brought up good points, and Chad brought up good points. And those who are watching right now, I appreciate you for being here as well. On my first live. And if you want to talk more credit cards, see what I do day to day with my credit cards, please subscribe, like the videos, and comment in the comment section. But for the time being, does anyone have anything to say before we head off?
Jackie, kick it off.
I just really want to say thank you, Del. This is the first time I met you. I had a great time. I did want to say something quick to the chat. Cruz, he was saying that there's so much literacy when it comes to credit, and that is so true. I see this every day in the funding for patients, and us, the Hispanics, we tend to get credit cards and we just go crazy with them. We like all the flashy stuff. And then when the African Americans come in, they want to pay with their money that they've been saving under their bed because they don't understand how credit works. And even when I tell them and I offer them 24 months interest free, they're still like doubting me. So yeah, these lives definitely are out there to help a lot of people.
Oh,
Sure.
good, Jack. Thank you, Jackie. Anthony?
Del, you absolutely killed it, man. You kept the flow, kept the energy. I liked it. Man. I'm gonna be watching out for your stuff going forward. It's good stuff, Del.
Appreciate that. Thanks, QC, man, for the super chat. Again, more super chat.
Chad? Aristotle?
Thank you so much for having me. I'm grateful. It's always an honor to share the stage with Titans in the community, people who are masters of the craft. I appreciate you. It was definitely a great conversation, and I appreciate being a part of it. And also just having a broader view. Like, I don't care for Capital One as a credit card issuer, but the last couple of cards I've used Capital One auto financing. Never had a problem, never had an issue. Easy process whatsoever. I actually tend to look for them over others, even others that I've used before. So, I mean, it was a great conversation, man. I hope you definitely host more of these.
Del, can you put your page up? And Jackie, can you put your page up?
Yeah, I
people are
linked
asking
Del's
for it.
page in one of the chats. I don't know if it came through though, but yeah, because let's make sure we sub to everybody on here, especially Del.
Because Wheels was asking for it. Shy Money, how you doing, Shy? What's going on? Que lo que? So it's YouTube at Del Thoughts, right?
Yep.
You never changed the S to apostrophe.
I'll do that later once I come back to Dallas.
We
YouTube
were
is,
talking about this the other day. I was like, Del Thoughts?
yeah, it's crazy. But nah. Sledge, what you got for me, man?
Man, listen, I just want to thank everybody that's up here today and subscribe to Dale and Jackie's channel. That's all I got.
Appreciate it. I see us in the background right there.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. You got the nicest setup there, Sledge. I swear to God. Jackie, you gonna put your channel, mama? You got it?
They can find me. I don't know how to put it now. They can find me. They just look up my name and it comes up. My Spanish channel comes up and my English
I
channel
freaking
comes
love
up.
you.
Listen, I gotta say
You
this
know
is
who I
really
am.
quick. So I got the thumbnail that you guys created and I put it in ChatGPT and I added a picture of me. I gotta show you guys later the thumbnail I created for me because I'm still gonna put it on my Instagram.
That'd be great.
Del, you killed it, kid.
Yeah.
You know,
Appreciate it, Joe.
proud of
Great
you,
job,
puppy.
Del.
Proud of you, man. That's how you do it. I love the fact that you guys always come through. I love doing this. We had a lot of people out tonight. You saw the numbers. So
Yeah, we had like 110.
yep. Thank you, mi gente. I love you guys. For those of you that celebrate Easter, happy Easter. Those of you that celebrated Passover, happy Passover. Enjoy. God bless you guys. Thank you so much. Look, aloha Danica. Garrett, what's up? What's up? He subscribed. Look at this. Yo. Dennis says, Google my name and add St. Patrick's Day.
Hey man, I appreciate everyone, you guys, for joining and watching us talk as always. That's one thing about this credit card community. I do appreciate everyone showing up for each other. So if you're watching, keep watching and watch all of us every single time we post. So we'll see you guys.
Wait, before you go, wait. I got to share this. Jackie's picture. She did the thumbnail with ChatGPT, but she was like the Jolly Green Giant. And now all of us
Towering.
and she's like, okay, peons.
Wait,
I love it, Jackie. That was freaking perfect,
I
Jackie.
just put my picture in ChatGPT and then I took you guys the thumbnail and I'm like, can you just make a thumbnail for
That
me?
was fire, Jackie. I
It
love it.
makes
That was
different
cute.
ones. I just didn't have
I
the
mean,
time
she
to.
overshadowed Chad.
I gotta use
She
ChatGPT.
took
Like,
Aristotle out of the picture.
ChatGPT is my doctor, my vet, my accountant, my personal secretary, my reader, my everything.
yeah.
Oh my God, you guys are the best.
I just gotta add one thing.
Yep.
And I'll probably do something about this, but I did a poll because I do a lot of work travel about which status I should chase, and I just want to let you guys know that Delta was the absolute winner by far. So for the rest of the year, I'll be doing my level best to fly as much Delta as possible to get the highest possible status that I can, and letting you guys know what things that may or may not happen along the way and any benefits that might not even be common knowledge, just to let you guys know what it's.
Where are you at now, Chad? What status?
With Delta, I'm Delta Gold.
Okay, and that was through just miles flown.
No, status match with for my Hilton Diamond.
So if you become Hilton Diamond, it automatically gives.
No.
Okay, that's
Not
what I want to ask.
automatically. It was a targeted whatchamacallit.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Didn't you get it too?
I remember that. Yeah, that was a
I
while ago.
didn't get it.
Yeah, Sledge didn't get it. 'Cause
I didn't get it.
Wow.
I
I'm
remember.
like,
You got it, because I'm gold with Delta, I'm silver with United, and platinum with American.
Yeah,
I'll say it.
I remember that because I think Chad posted in the chat and he was like, if you have this offer or whatever, click it, or if you didn't get it, like you can do incognito. I do remember that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I got it
me.
because before I was just silver.
Yeah.
And QC Man wants to know if you either have the Delta Platinum or Reserve card.
No, but honestly, now that the people have chosen for me to chase Delta, don't be surprised if they rejoin the Centurion Army.
Mm.
All right. Let's do this. Thank you, guys.
This the only Centurion card y'all need, man. I'm gonna leave y'all with a quick brief look at it.
Okay. They don't know about that stuff. They don't know.
My friend, that's my friend's favorite card. He still has that card like 20-something years.
Yeah, they don't know about the Optima.
He has the Optima Platinum, Sledge, right? Because they had a platinum version of it. That's fire.
They don't know about that, man.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah,
All right,
man,
mi gente.
cards, great value, 2,500. But anyway,
Deuces.
See you guys in another day and another live. And happy Good Friday and Easter.
God bless you, Del. Thank you, puppy.
You guys.
Peace.
Man.